Today I want to make a scarecrow wreath. So I thought I was done with fall, but I just really want to try this wreath. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so I've made a scarecrow wreath before and I used a kit. And I can tell you that you can get really cute kits that would work with this too, and I will show you that. However, we're just kind of make our own. And what we're going to be using is I'm going to use a work wreath just because it's going to save me some time. However, if you do not have a work wreath, there's a very easy way to put your ties on. You just pick a point on the bottom of your wreath and you want to do 10 on the bottom. So you'd put one, put your tie over, go to the next one, put your tie over, go to the next one, so on and so forth. It's exactly how they make these. So you want 10 on the bottom, 8 on the top. You're only going to use the bottom row and the top row. That's generally what I do with almost all my wreaths. Okay, then I'm going to be using some jute burlap because this is really the look that I want to go. Then I have this other burlap mesh, and it's awesome. It looks like blue jeans to me, and that's kind of the look I want to go for. So I'm going to put these two together, and then we're going to use, these are 21 inch. This is a 10 inch frayed edge burlap mesh. I want to use this because we want him to look a little tattered. Okay, we're also going to be using some Rafia, so that's going to be fun. I've got some ribbon that looks like blue jean. I just love this. And then I have regular burlap. I have this awesome, and this is the window pane, and it has like, it almost looks like cotton in there, in between the little pieces. I love this. I have some of this. This is fun. Kind of looks like straw to me. Kind of see the theme I'm going for here. I have some, this kind of looks like t-shirt to me. So I like this. And then just some other fall colors. I don't know if we'll use the pumpkin or not, but we'll just deal with that when we get to it. So we're actually going to be doing the Poof Curl method, because I think that's going to be adorable with this guy. We're going to be using some of my kids' old blue jeans that they've outgrown now, and we're going to cut them off. See, I love these because these have that kind of worn look. So these are way bigger than we need. We don't need one to be that long, so we're going to cut them off. And we're going to be using a hat, and I will show you that in just a little bit. But first things first, we are going to cut our mesh. So we have 18 ties that we have to go through. We're going to do one row on the bottom and 2 on the top, so that it makes almost like 3 distinct layers. So we'll need 10 and 16. So we need a total of 26. Since we're going to be using 2, we will cut 13 from each of these. So I just wanted to let you know what I'm going to use so that you'll be prepared. Hi, Bella. So I can actually cut these out together just because it's faster. Alright. So what I'll do is get them lined up like this. See, and this is why I know people always wonder why I have this little table down here, but it's so I can put my mesh on it. It just really works out perfect. It's just slightly lower than my table, and so I can put it down here and I can roll it out fairly easily. So the other thing I have is I have this mat. So this is a Fiskars mat, and it is great when you're using mesh, because when you cut, I use a rotary cutter from the same company, and it will not scar this mat, so I can cut on it and I don't have to worry about it cutting the mat. The other thing I have is I have switched to one of these that has a safety on it, because my kids are always wanting to come in here and mess with it. Plus, these are really sharp and you do not want to accidentally cut yourself, and you can. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get a clean edge. I always do that because it just makes measuring a lot easier. And then I'm going to just cut every 10 inches. So, and I need 18 of each of these. So, generally when I'm doing this, if I'm doing it with one roll, I will use not quite the whole roll, but pretty close. Okay, so this will use about half of each. So all I'm going to do is cut up 18 of each, and then when I come back, we will start putting it on our frame. And then we can decorate and have fun. Oh, I wanted to show you. No, I'll wait till later to show you that. Okay, so I will be back in just a moment. I'm going to finish cutting these, and then we will start doing all of our curls. We'll do our ribbon, and then we're going to fix our little jeans and our hat, and I will be back shortly. Okay, so I've got my bunch cut, and we're going to start putting them on our base. I'm just going to open up my ties on the bottom so I don't have to try to do it while I'm working. Okay, just like this. Alright, now I've got all my ties opened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mesh that I cut, and I'm going to alternate it. So each one of these is cut at 10 inches. And so I will just take this and I will just curl it up like this from the ends. And the reason I curl it up from the ends is because it's the ends that I want to be curly. I don't really want the middle to be curly because we're going to use that as a poof. So you see, if you do it on the ends, then the middle ends up being a little looser. It makes it easier to do this poof. So I'll just go back to my base here. I'll put one curl down here. I'm just going to tie it one time, and one here. This is a great way to use 21-inch mesh. I get a lot of questions about how can I use 21-inch mesh. So this is a really great way. See, so what you have is you have your little poof in the middle, and you have your two curls on the ends. Then, since I have two different types, there's two different ways you could do this. You could either do all one color, then a second color, then your first color again, or you can alternate. So what we're going to do is we're going to alternate. So I will just take my second color, curl from the end, get my little curls, make sure that this middle piece is face down, because remember, you want to make a poof out of that. So I'll open my tie back up on one side, put this down, and go and put the other one down. So what you'll end up with is 2 curls in each little tie. Now when we get to the top, we'll actually have more, but we'll get to that after we do this. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my blue. I'm going to curl it. And now I will go back in the tie from my burlap one. So I do open it back up and put it down. Then go on to my next tie. Make sure that middle is at the bottom, and then I'll put this down. Then I'll kind of pull my puff out a little bit. Like that. Okay? Then I'll do another one. Same thing. So, curl from the end. I've got my little opening down. Go back in. Go right on top of that last curl. And then to the next one. Okay, and then pull out my poof. So see, I'll show you here. So you put half in one tie, go across, this is where your poof comes in, and put half on the other side. And so what you'll end up doing when you get your next one is you will open this tie back up and go on top of this one. So you'll have your curl going this way, your poof across, and your other curl on this side. So I am going to go and put these all the way around the bottom, and then I'll come back and show you the top, although we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to do the exact same process on the top, we're just going to do it twice. So I will work on this, move that out of the way, and then I'll come back and we'll do the top, and then we'll get started with our other fun stuff. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've gotten all the way around the bottom. So now I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the top. The only difference is that I'm going to go around the top twice. And what that does is it will make almost 3 distinct layers. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Curl on the end. Get my little poofs. Have my middle down. And put it down on the top. Now on the top, when you go around, you will come back around a second time. So you will end up with 4 curls in each one of these loops. So this is the exact same process, so I'm not going to make you watch me do it. So I'm going to go around one time, and I'll come back, and then I'll show you starting the second one. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've gotten around the top. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mesh, and I want to go the opposite color of what's on there presently. So I have this blue one, and I'm going to go on top of the one that has the burlap. So I'll just open it back up. I'm going to put this one right on top of the other one, just like this. Put it down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take this one and push it down, and then push this one back. See, and what that does is it makes almost like 3 layers. You see? Just like that. 1, 2, 3. This makes it a lot fuller and really just gives it a lot more interest. So I'll just do the same thing all the way around. Now, there's only 8 on top, so I will end up going across the same color twice. There's just really no way to avoid it. That's okay. It's not going to matter. I'm just going to do the same thing. Curl it up. Go back inside. Put this down. And then again on the other side. Just like that. Then pull this one back. Here. And then open this one up. Just like that. You see? Now, one thing I want to say. There are some meshes that just tend to unravel more than others. And you know, there's no sense in stressing about it because it's going to happen. What I say is get through the wreath, get everything put together, and then what you can do is you can spray it with something like E6000 adhesive spray. I like that one myself because it doesn't have odor. I just can't stand the ones that have odor. And so I'll spray it. Now, you can spray it with ribbons on it, but it really is better if you spray it before you put the ribbons on it. You just want to do 2 to 3 light coats. Okay, so I'm going to keep going around the top, and then when I come back, we will start putting the rest together. Okay, I've gotten it all in. You see how pretty and full that looks? Isn't that awesome? I really love this method. Alright, so next, so this is going to be a scarecrow. So I want it to be very fringy. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this frayed edge burlap here, and I am actually going to cut it, what did I decide? I'm going to cut it every 10 inches just like I did with the other mesh. Okay. I want this to be messy and fringy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones that I have cut up, and the way that it likes to roll, I'm just going to go right in the middle like this, and I'm going to make a little ruffle just like that. You see how cute that is? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in these ties, and I'm going to put this ruffle down like this. You see how that has all that little fringe on it? So that's going to be part of our scarecrow. All this cute little fringe. So I'm going to go in every one and put this in. So I'll just hold it like that. I'll show you one on the bottom. I'm just going to open this up, put this down, and tie it back one good time. And I want it to look all messy and fringy because scarecrows are not neat and tidy. They're messy. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go both on the bottom and the top, just making these little ruffles and putting it down. I'm not worried about whether it is coming off or not because I want it to look that way. So then when I get back, we'll put some ribbon in, and we're going to do our jeans, and then we'll put our hat on, and we'll be good to go. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, I've got them all in. I love this. This is just fun. Okay, so now what I want to do, first thing I want to tell you is that I said you need 26, but you actually only need 18 of those. So I wanted to tell you that first because I said that wrong earlier. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to do these jeans. So what I'll do, and I tell you, the smaller the jeans that you have, the better off you are. But what I'll do is I'll take these little loops and I'll use it to tie it underneath here like this, so it's coming out just like this. And then what I want to do is cut these off. So I think I'm going to cut them off right around the knee. So I'll just take my scissors and just cut them. Okay. Because this is a scarecrow. It's not supposed to look neat and tidy. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do, and there are a lot of different things that you could stuff these with. I'm just going to use these right now because I just got a package in and I have these. But really the best thing to stuff them with is stuffing or newspaper. Now, if I was going to sell this one, then I would put something in there that would be okay in the outdoors, would not pop, because these of course can pop, but I just happen to have them on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to tie these down at the bottom. And I want to use some ribbon. So let's see. I think I'm going to use this one. I really like this one. I think this kind of just looks like plaid t-shirt, so I think it kind of looks cool. It's also going to work really well with our blue. See? So I'm just going to kind of pull it like this. Cut some of this off. Okay, so I cut about 17-inch strip. So I'll cut 2 of those. Alright. Then what I'm going to do is I want to take some of this Rafia and I'm going to take some of it, just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. I'm going to kind of fold it over a couple of times like this. I'm going to stick it inside here, and then I'm going to use my tie and tie it off. I want to make sure I have my Rafia in that tie. There we go. And then I'll cut this so that it's all kind of like rough like this. See, I like that. Okay. Then I'll do my other leg. I'm just tying that back around the back. Okay. Same thing on my other leg. So just pull some out. Like this. Then I can put this away. Back in my mess zone. And I'm going to stick this one under this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull it, tie it. Make sure that Rafia is under there. It is. Okay. Tie it off tight, and I'm going to tie this in the back. Here we go. Then I'll cut this so that it looks nice and rough. Like that. See? Like this is his little feet. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shove these in the body I just want to kind of fluff it up. Now, normally I would have stuffing, but I just used it for another project, so I didn't think about going and getting some more. Alright. I have a bunch of this because I just got some new supplies. So, there we go. Now, you know, you could also use plastic bags, plastic grocery bags. I've done that before and it works really great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pipe cleaners. I'm going to use some burlap color instead. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through the front and the back so that I can keep it tied tight together. Same thing on this side. See, there's one in the back, so I'm just gonna, almost like I'm sewing it so it won't come loose. Alright, and then I have two right here, one here, and one here. Alright, then I'm gonna flip my wreath over and my little pants, and I'm going to tie it right onto my frame. Just like this. Okay. So can you see? I'm just tying it onto the frame here. I'll just tie it off. Then I'll just cut it and then put them around the bottom. So, and that's it for the pants. It's really easy to do. Alright, now.
Hey everyone!
Hey Ross!
Hi.
Hi, sweetie.
Hello. Hi Bella.
We're making a scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
Mm-hmm.
Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Alright, so now we've got our pants on. So you like him?
Yeah.
Next we're going to put our ribbons on, and then we're going to put our hat on. You okay?
Yeah.
Top of it?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a couple different options for the hat I wanted to show you. So this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to put his hat right up here like this. Like his face is under here, and that's where I'm going to put it. But I wanted to show you, last year I made one of these, and all this is it is a straw hat that I attached some little material on, and then I just gave him a little face and a little bow. You could also put one of these on here. You see how cute that is? Isn't that really cute? So I just wanted to give you that as an option. Of course, you could also put, you know, a scarecrow kit. See, because that would look really cute. But I don't want to put a face. I just want to put my hat. I'm just going to put my hat right there. Alright, so what I'm going to do next, since I've gotten this part done, I'll kind of move this out of the way, is I'm going to put some ribbon. I'm not going to put a ton of ribbon because really I don't want to ruin what we already have going on there because it's just so cool. But I'm going to put a few. I mostly want to put a little bit of this here, and I want to put some of the blue jean. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on like maybe every other one. So I'm gonna cut these at 12 inches. I have this little tool that I made. You can tell mine's been used quite a bit. It's just a 6-inch piece of cardboard that I covered in duct tape. And I use this to do my ribbon. So I just go around like this here. Just like that. And then I'll cut it off I can slide my scissors right inside there. And just that quickly, I've done 4. So I'm going to cut some of this ribbon, and I'm going to put a little detail in it by folding it on over on itself and cutting away from myself at an angle. So I'm going to cut some of these, and then when I come back, we'll put a few on the wreath, and we're going to put our cute little hat on, and then that'll be it. We'll have a cute little scarecrow wreath. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've gotten some cut up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 2 together. See, I have this one that kind of looks like straw. I like that one. And I will pinch them together in the middle like this. And then just go right back in my tie, open it up, put it down, and this time I'm going to tie it a good 3 times. And I'll just kind of push my little ties in, and then I will spread these out just like that. Okay, so I have, they're hiding underneath. I have this is just the window pane, and it has, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be snow, but to me it kind of looks like cotton. So I was raised in the South, and this is what cotton looks like. So we're going to say it's cotton. So I'm going to put these 2 together and go back in, put it down, and then tie it a good 3 times and tuck my little ties under. Then I'll pull these out like that. There we go. There. So I'm really just going to use these 4 and just kind of alternate them a little bit. I'm going to go around. Now I'm going to put my hat right up here at the top, almost like his head's hiding under here. So I'm not going to put any up here. So I will skip that, but I will put some around, like maybe a few here, some here. So I'm going to go through and put those in, and then when I get back, we will put our hat on, and we will have a quick and easy scarecrow. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, I've gotten a lot of ribbon on it. So now I'm ready to work on the hat. And so what I want to do with my hat is I want to get just a little bit of ribbon on it. I don't want it to be just plain, but I think that ribbon's just too big. So we can't use that one. Just doesn't work. So I'm going to use this smaller one just because it fits better. So I'll just measure it around. I'll turn on my hot glue gun here. I'm going to overlap it a little bit. Okay, and while my hot glue gun is warming up, I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put, and I'm going to use a few of these pipe cleaners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them right up near the base, right through the hat. This. Okay. There's one. So you can't really see that, and when you put the ribbon on, you really won't be able to see it. So I'm just kind of going like in the middle. Okay. So right now it's almost Halloween, so it was pretty easy for me to find a hat that would work. So what I'll do is I will use these ties and I will tie it right down to the frame. I want to put it kind of high up like this. So I will tie that onto the frame. See, we have them under here like this. Now right now, not quite ready. Okay, so I will buzz off for a second and let my hot glue gun warm up. Sometimes it's really quick and sometimes it's not. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I decided I didn't really like that other ribbon. It just didn't look right. So I'm just going to go with this little pumpkin one. I like that better. I also looked at doing a rope, but I just didn't have one in the color that I thought looked right. So all I'm going to do is put some glue right on the ribbon. You don't need a ton, you just want enough to make sure that it's going to stick. So, what's the matter, Bella? Okay. Okay. Alright, and then I'll just kind of press it down. This, I'm going to overlap it slightly. There we go. Then I'll just drop a tiny bit of glue anywhere I see where it's kind of sticking up. And then just press it. Make sure it sticks. There we go. I want it to especially stick in the front because that's what you're going to see. Okay. There we go. But once I have it down to the hat pretty good, I will attach my hat down to my base. So move this so you can see it. So all I'm going to do is take my hat and I'm going to take these pipe cleaners and I am going to just push my mesh aside and tie it down to the base. Like this. I want the hat to look almost like his head's down, like this. Okay. Now I just want to make sure that he's pretty even with his jeans, which he is. Let's see, let's put this up. And that's it. That's our Scarecrow. I think he looks cute. He's kind of country. So I had had a viewer who asked me to do this one specifically. So I told her I would, and I think it turned out really cute. So if you have one you want me to try, let me know, because I will try them. I think that's fun. And I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought. And if you would have done a face instead, because I think that's fun too. And I will be back soon. I have a lot of Christmas ones planned, so I'll be doing those soon. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.